Hi, today we're going to multiply decimal numbers. So let's say we have a problem like 3.4 times 6.95. Remember that dot in between, a little bit larger in between the numbers, means to multiply. So we need to set up a problem to where we can multiply long because these are numbers that we can't just do in our head. Now the way I choose which number should go on top is I look for the longest number. So this one is the longest number, so I would put that on top. I would have 6.95 times 3.4. The good thing about multiplying decimals, we don't need to line up the decimal point. So this is just fine. I don't have to make sure, like we do in adding or subtracting, that the decimal point is lined up. At this point, I can just multiply. So I kind of ignore the decimal points and I multiply my numbers. So 4 times 5 gives me 20. 4 times 9 is 36 plus 2 is 38. 4 times 6 is 24 plus 3 is 27. I'm done with my 4, so I need to put a placeholder, and I'm going to scoot over, so I'm going to get rid of those two. 3 times 5 is 15. Carry my 1. 3 times 9 is 27 plus 1 is 28. And 3 times 6 is 18 plus 2 is 20. Notice I did not put my decimal point in yet. I'm ready to just add. So I have a 0, I have a 13, 16, 3, and 2. So now I need to figure out where my decimal point goes. One thing that I notice, there are 2 places after the decimal in this factor, 1 after the decimal in this factor, which means that my answer needs to have 3 in the answer. So I start counting right here. And so I need to go over 3 spots. So 1, 2, 3, and I can add my decimal point at that point. So my answer is 23.630, or I could drop that 0 now and have 23.63. Okay? So what happens in this situation? I have 0.18 times 0.06. My decimal points are lined up, but they wouldn't have to be. They just worked out that they did at this point. I'm going to multiply like normal. 6 times 8 is 48. 6 times 1 plus 4 is 10. I can multiply by zeros, but all that's going to do is give me zeros. So I really don't need to multiply by the 0. I'm ready to place my decimal point. I have 2 places after the decimal point, 2 after the decimal point. That means I need 4 in my answer. So if I start counting here, I've got 1, 2, 3, and before I can add my decimal point in, I have to add in another 0 here, so that I have 1, 2, 3, 4 places after my decimal point. So we always add the zeros, extra numbers, if it's not long enough, in front of our answer. I hope that helps. Until next time.